Hello, Unbreakable Mompreneurs. My name is Charisse Walker, your host, and today I'm here with Susy Cid. And if you are familiar with Pinterest and if you want to be able to do more with Pinterest than you probably are right now, then this is the episode for you. She's built her business by using Pinterest, not the other social media platforms, and has done very, very well. So without further ado, Susy, why don't you introduce yourself to us?
Yes, thank you very much for having me. My name is Susy Cid. I'm a Pinterest strategist, and what this means is that I help brands and entrepreneurs grow their business using Pinterest as a marketing tool. I have been doing this for over 4 years now, help brands all over different niches from retail to e-commerce to bloggers, content creators. And like you said at the beginning, it's just how to use Pinterest and leverage it for your business.
What did you start selling?
So I discovered the power of Pinterest when I was using it for a chocolate maker, a bean to bar chocolate maker, and it was just one more platform in their social media strategy. But we realized that it was the one that we were capitalizing the most because we were pairing it with our content and then sending people to our products, and that's what was giving the biggest result. So to answer your question, it was a chocolate bar.
That is so cool. Okay. And kind of give us a background and rundown because like you talked about, use Pinterest for recipes or for ideas on how to ask my kids' dates to prom. But how do you use it to sell things off of?
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think a lot of people, I'll get like a little bit of background. First of all, you need to understand what kind of platform Pinterest is. I think a lot of people have the misconception that it's a social media platform, and that's why they don't know how to get the most out of it. And they don't even consider it as a marketing tool. So, first of all, Pinterest is a search engine, a visual search engine, which you need to compare more like with Google or YouTube, where people, and if you think about how you maybe use it on the daily basis, like you say right now, oh, how to ask a date for the prom, like people go with a problem or looking for an idea for a solution, they type in how to ask a date for prom, and they get results in the form of pins, which is like these little rectangular images that you get when you type and search anything on Pinterest. And from there, it takes you to a website where you may find this information. And this may be a blog post that had 11 the best 11 ideas to ask a date for prom. Or in the case of the chocolate bar, it was about the benefits of eating chocolate. So people on Pinterest are looking for an idea, for a solution to a problem. And so they go there specifically and type in for this. This is what opens the perfect opportunity for your brand or your content to be discovered when you match that search with your content.
Okay. And what can you sell? Like, what do people sell or who do you help? Is it just product or can you do services? Can you do coaching? What's it involve?
So nowadays, it's pretty much anyone. I think it's easier to think who is not for Pinterest. I would say that if you are a product that is highly depending on location, like let's say a restaurant that doesn't have any sort of online offering, like they don't have a blog or they don't have an online store or they don't have like branches all over where maybe you can make reservations. I think like something that is really physical dependent, like sorry, location dependent, that would not be the best platform that I would go for. But other than that, if you have a digital product, if you have a membership, if you have a physical product with an online store, if you just create content, if you write books, if you have a podcast, then Pinterest is a great platform for you.
I didn't even think about that. I honestly, that is because it's true. Do you run ads behind things on Pinterest or you can just put things on Pinterest?
You have both options. So you have the organic side and then you have the paid ads. Depending on priorities, budget, goals, I recommend, but like for a content creator or for anyone to start an organic account, um, is free. And it's something that I think it should be part of any reliable marketing strategy because you need to have your immediate results type of fun platforms for your funnel, and then you need to have the ones that are long term, reliable sources of traffic or new people to your funnel.
Interesting. All right. So what do you know now that you wish you would have known before regarding Pinterest? Like if someone's getting started.
Okay. Keywords, which is nothing else but how your audience is thinking about their problem and what wording are they using for it. And this sounds harder than it is because Pinterest actually tells you. So I invite your audience to do a little test. They can open like Pinterest. If you're a Pinterest user, just open your app or on the computer and in the search bar, type in whatever is the broad category of your service or your product, or like in this case, let's say that you have a podcast for mompreneurs. So you could think like uh, mompreneurs business ideas or easy mompreneurs business ideas. And like I said, do this with the keyword or the broad category that applies to you. So if you're a fitness coach, start with like some fitness wording and type in, and then look at what Pinterest suggests, like those auto suggestions that you get. That is Pinterest telling you how your audience is thinking about the problem, not how you think your audience is thinking about the problem, but actually what they're typing. So from there, it's a really easy way to realize, is this a good fit for me, for my business, for what I offer? And then you also get to spot how your competition is actually already using it, which is an exercise that a lot of people get surprised. They're like, oh, I didn't know, and they're my top competitor, and they're already on Pinterest.
That is crazy. And so do you think there's a lot of competition on Pinterest, or do you think it's kind of a dirty little secret?
I think that in the scale of platforms is still that dirty little secret because everybody is trying to get the TikTok views or making it on Instagram or other platforms. I think Pinterest is often like an afterthought. Not so much in the blogger community. I think the blogger community have known about Pinterest for a while, but in other niches, it still is like that thing that is like, what? Wait, can I? What? Um, there's definitely competition in different niches. Like, for example, obviously, recipe food niche is really competitive. Crafts is really competitive. Not to say that there's not space, but it's more competitive, let's say, than the fitness or like coaching or other types of businesses.
Okay. Interesting. Okay, so how do you help if our audience were to say, okay, I need your help, how do you do that? How do you get started?
Yes, I have different ways. I have training material that they can get in my website, which is fruitfullab.com. And I have training material that is for free. So if you're just getting started and you don't know nothing, you can just read some resources there, get some guides, or just watch a masterclass. Then the second way is that you can work directly with me. Like I have hands-off services. So if you really don't want to learn or care anything about figuring out Pinterest, I take it all off your plate from beginning to end. All you'd receive at the end of the month is, did you get these people to your website? Did we grow your email list? And that's it. And then I have work with you type of thing. So for people who want to try to do it themselves, but they don't want to figure it out and they want some guidance along the way, I have a strategy session that I sell where, like I said, I give you everything, a roadmap, and then you execute, but you can always have the expert in your back pocket and say like, hey, I'm stuck doing this and I'll help you out. So that's kind of like the main three ways.
I love those three ways, and those are the best ways because there's something for everyone that way. But how long did it take you to get your program set up? So let's kind of shift gears away from Pinterest for a little bit and let's talk about the business side of things. Because people are always thinking, okay, I want to sell this, I want to do this, I want to become a coach. But how long did it take you to get your actual program set up and established?
I started during the pandemic, like many of us. It was a push, not something that I had planned. It was more like we have to do something. And I relied on this skill. But I would say to seriously get it rolling, I think maybe 6 months, a year.
Oh, really?
Because when I started, we were in the middle of an adventure,
Mhm.
hopping from town to town because it was COVID times and we just couldn't stay locked. So we were just trying to move in like periods of months.
Mhm.
Um, and I can say that it was really hard to start a business while you're also figuring out logistics of travel and while you're also changing your life all the time and living in your trunk of your car, because doing that was probably a mistake when I was starting my business because it took my focus. Once we settled, and I was able to dedicate the time to actually grow it, that's when I started getting like more clients consistently and learning more and actually delivering more value, setting more, creating more material, etc.
Okay. Interesting. You do work with a lot of moms, right?
Yeah, I do, yeah.
So what do you see as their struggles in business?
Well, I think I don't know if it's a like this. I don't see it as a struggle. Maybe I see it as like a characteristic.
Mhm.
So they definitely have a lot of things in their plate, and I think it can be like something I observe with my clients is they're hesitant because they feel a bit guilty about putting money to certain things in their business. I think they maybe prioritizing that and seeing it like okay, it's a valuable thing. I shouldn't be trying to do it all. I think that's a common struggle that I've noticed with talking to my clients.
Mhm. Okay. So you traveled during the pandemic. So what are some things that you enjoyed by doing that?
You mean like while traveling?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, definitely just seeing new places. That was always nice, like the feeling of freshness and everything and the discovery. That was really beautiful. Also, just to get to explore new cities. It's something that we really enjoyed. And then for my husband and I, which we were doing it together, we really like to be on the road. So just long drives was also really fun.
What was your favorite place or your top three?
Yeah, Montreal, which is where we end up settling at the end.
Well, if you were sitting on a park bench and you sat down next to your 19-year-old self, what is some advice that we would give your 19-year-old self?
Do it sooner. Like definitely start my own business sooner. I know I had the idea way before, but not maybe the courage or the kick or the motivation to actually do it. So start sooner, stick to it. I also, before I jump from many things to many things, never really giving time to one project to flourish
Mhm.
because I would like change my focus to another thing. And after seeing the results of focusing,
Yeah.
I would say stick with it for longer.
Okay.
Don't be so impatient.
And it's paid off, right?
It has paid off, absolutely. Yeah.
How did you find to do this as your passion?
Like I said, so pandemic kick, and I just had to figure out like I had just quit my job because I had another career plan that also flew off the window with the pandemic, and so I had to sit down, make storm the list of like okay things that you like to do and brain map. My degree is business innovation. I have always worked in business development. I work social media marketing, etc. But I never really enjoy the social media aspect of like Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. But I loved doing Pinterest. I loved the app as a user, and then I loved using it as a tool because it didn't feel draining. I really genuinely enjoy. It was a puzzle for me to to create a strategy, and then I enjoy the platform as a user. So that's when I was like, oh, I think this can be, and it's everybody needs traffic to their shops or to their blogs or to. So I thought like, yes, this is what I really enjoy doing.
That's great. Well, if our listeners wanted to get a hold of you, because I think it's a fantastic opportunity and idea to learn more and to not be competing against all the other social media platforms, how would they find you?
Yeah, I'm in Instagram, ironically, fruitful dash underscore pin. Then my website is fruitful lab. That's fruit and then lab.com. And you can also just email me at susie@fruitfullab.com. Like either of those ways work. And if anyone of your audience wants to reach out, they can have a free audit and we can go over how they can incorporate their Pinterest to their business.
Well, Susie, thank you so much for being on. What a great idea.
Thank you.
And moms, if you are looking for a different idea and if you find yourself going on Pinterest a lot, then why not use it? And if you have any questions, please reach out to Susie. Go out and make it a great day. Beautiful moms, remember, you are unbreakable. Keep illuminating the world with your strength, pursuing your dreams, and reveling in the splendor of motherhood. This is Charisse Walker, bidding you farewell for now. Stay tuned for more empowering conversations on the next episode of the Unbreakable Mompreneurs podcast. Until then, keep shining bright. Signing off with love, Charisse Walker.